right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back again with another episode of Run It Back. We're doing the classic, arguably the greatest film of all time, The Godfather. I'm joined by Mr. Adam Schubert below and then Ian Hawley to the left. I'm going to start off with Ian. Ian, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. It's super cold here in Michigan. We got a ton of snow today. So I'm happy to be indoors away from that nonsense now.
The funny thing is, just to give some inside baseball, we had this episode got deleted, and the last time I asked you this, you said the same thing. You said it was fucking freezing.
Dude, and ironically, I was wearing the same thing for the last episode.
He also said that he was taking his bottom neighbor's heat.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, I am, yeah. Dude, that's the strategy because I live on the second floor, so they pay for the heat, and then it rises up into my apartment, and I don't pay for it.
That's crazy. Living in the North, man. Secret techniques, but also joining us, Mr. Adam Schubert. Shuby, man, how you doing, brother?
You come to me on the day of my daughter's day to be married, and you ask me this question? Come on.
This guy, one of the best quotes in the movie. But yeah, man, I'm excited to do this movie. It's one of the best. Al Pacino, Marlon Brando, directed by Coppola. I feel like this is one of those films that laid the groundwork for a lot of films to see going forward, like the Goodfellas, like the other gangster films. Without this film, we don't get a lot of those films.
Yeah, it's on a lot of lists that you look up. It's number 2 behind Citizen Kane, best movie that there ever was.
This movie also like laid groundwork for Tarantino to cut someone's ear off in the 90s. Like without this film, like showing the horse head and doing a lot of the things that kind of revolutionized film, the scene on the turnpike with James Caan, Sonny, we'll get to that. But there's just a lot of things this film did. Let's get you guys' opening thoughts on the film and what you think before we get into the episode. But what are you going to say, Schubert?
I was going to say, as part of an opening thought, is that this movie not only made so many careers, but also put a cap on a early Hollywood great career. So it was just from having really fine actors in it, it benefited the most out of any movie for that. I think, I don't really know who was in Citizen Kane, but I can tell you who came out of The Godfather or who was in it, because I think the acting really drove home how great the movie was.
That's a fact. And I can only tell you one person out of Citizen Kane, and that's Orson Welles. Everybody else, I have no idea. But like you said, with Godfather, we can start listing them off. And like you said, it capped a career. It also birthed a lot of careers. This movie was legendary, and I can't wait to talk about it. Ian, what's your initial thoughts on this movie?
Well, this was the first time, watching it for this episode, this was the first time that I had watched it from start to finish in one sitting. I had only attempted to watch it one other time, and I think I fell asleep like an hour and a half in. So I had only watched like the first half of it. And I can see now why it's so highly regarded. It's a 3-hour movie, but it doesn't feel that way. They do a great job with the pacing. And it sets up, you can see the inspiration that this had on so many young directors and writers, with a lot of the homages just afterwards, in TV, movies, music. It was a very influential film. So I was very impressed by it. And now I got to go watch Godfather 2 to see what happens next.
That is something we're definitely gonna have to talk about.
Without The Godfather, you do not get the Rugrats movie.
That's a fact. The opening scene. Also, you don't get Sopranos, because I think the interesting thing about Sopranos is that they always say Tony Soprano is the child of the Godfather era. So all the old people in there, like his Uncle Jackie and everything that's going on with that, they're always talking about how the good old days. And when they reference that, that's this Godfather era, and you don't get one of the greatest HBO shows without this.
Which is kind of curious because we could be seeing that with the prequel.
Oh yeah, with the Many Saints of Newark. That's going to be interesting to see if they have like how deep they go into it. And yeah, no, you're absolutely right. We'll see that era, which is this era that was, in 1972. So But with that being said, this is how this show works. We go through the background of the film, then we get to the best scenes, then we ask some questions like some "Are we sure's?" Does this really make sense? Then we also talk about who won the movie, who lost the movie, and the best six man. But let's get into the background. The Godfather is a 1972 American crime film directed by Francis Ford Coppola, who co-wrote the screenplay with Mario Puzo, based on Puzo's best-selling 1969 novel of the same name. The film stars Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan, Richard Castellano, Robert Duvall, Sterling Hayden, John Marley, Richard Conte, and Diane Keaton, the Shocker. Every time I say her name, it fucking blows my mind that she's in this movie. It's the first installment in the Godfather trilogy, the story spanning from 1945 to 1955, chronicling the Corleone family under the patriarch Vito Corleone, played by Brando, focusing on the transformation of one of his sons, Michael Corleone Pacino, from reluctant family insider to ruthless mafia boss. Paramount Pictures obtained the rights to the novel for the price of $80,000. That's a steal because the amount of money this film made is ridiculous. The Godfather premiered at Lowe's State Theater on March 14th, 1972, and was widely released in the United States on March 24th, 1972. It was the highest grossing film of that year and was, for the time, the highest grossing film ever made, it earning between $246 million and $287 million at the box office. The film received universal acclaim from critics and audiences alike, with performance praise to Brando and Pacino. At the 45th Academy Award, the film won the Oscars for Best Picture and Best Actor Brando, and Best Adapted Screenplay, in addition to 7 other Oscar nominations. Pacino, Caan, and Duvall for Best Supporting Actor, they both lost. All of them lost, and Coppola for Best Director, he lost. I want to ask y'all, Pacino should have been nominated for Best Actor. He should have been. This is more of his movie than it is Brando's.
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. At the time, Brando was definitely the bigger star. And he is, the titular character, the Godfather. I feel like while he may not have as much of a presence as far as screen time goes, he is still the dominating force, not only behind the family, but just, the backdrop of the movie as well. Like, all of this is, obviously a wrapping up of his time as the Godfather. But it gives you more of a look into his life, I would say, than really anyone else. And where, you can see his past, his present, and his future kind of all in this movie at once.
Everything's still revolving around him.
Yeah, everything does revolve around. It's just that, I don't know, man. I feel like this is Michael's coming of age story. And I just feel like Pacino gets screwed because he doesn't even get nominated. He doesn't even win for the next one, which is crazy. De Niro wins for the next one, which, I mean, De Niro's great in it, by the way. But I don't know. And then a funny story is Brando didn't even go. He was like, fuck the Oscars. And he just said, fuck y'all. And it was just like, I'm not accepting this shit. And like, and told him off. And like, everybody was pissed off at him for it, which is like funny. But I don't know, Shuby. I feel like Ian may be saying some good stuff, but I'm still thinking Pacino should have been nominated. I know in 2020 he'd have been nominated.
Probably so. I think like the way that they do it now, like the criteria that they use now, he probably would have been the lead. But in 72, I think it was also wanting to show some respect to Brando for, this being kind of like his comeback, in a lot of ways. I mean, he'd been out of like main spotlight for a while. So this was like the big movie that he comes back to.
All I know is Joel Grey, who beat Caan, Duvall, and Pacino. What a crazy thing to Cabaret. Do any of y'all know what that movie is? No, but we know what the
Liza Minnelli.
We know what. Oh, you know what Cabaret is?
There you go.
Look at you.
Yeah, look at you.
Did you know Joel Grey though? Yeah. So boom, exactly.
No, I just know that Liza Minnelli won an Oscar for it.
See, shout out to James Caan and Duvall. Out of those three though, who do y'all think had the better supporting role? Caan, Duvall, or Pacino? Tom Hagen, Sonny, or Michael? And I know we could jump to say Michael, but like, because I think Michael's a lead, I'm gonna say Sonny is James Caan. Sonny was great.
I would go there too. I think that he carried a lot of weight in the movie. more so than Tom Hagen did. I think Tom Hagen was a strong presence, but like Sonny kind of, really made some scenes and pushed the narrative.
I think Tom Hagen shines next movie, but Ian's over there shaking his head. You think Tom Hagen did better than Sonny?
Oh, absolutely. I think the best scene in the movie was when Tom Hagen is sitting in the office and Vito comes downstairs. Well, I mean, we'll get to it, but when he, shares some bad news with the Don, I think that scene is the best scene in the whole movie, or at least one of the most, heart-tugging moments, down to earth, real, family stuff.
I think James Caan throws some of the best air punches I've ever seen there. He just hit the air so hard in between him and the other dude.
Yes, he did.
He's definitely top 5.
And we will get to all of that. So some other backgrounds. Paramount Pictures might have messed this up because if it wasn't for Francis Ford Coppola, we might not have seen Pacino or Marlon Brando or even James Caan, because the studio wanted to set in the Don Corleone role they thought about Laurence Olivier, Anthony Quinn, George C. Scott, Ernest Borgnine. And then in the Pacino role, they thought Warren Beatty, Jack Nicholson, Dustin Hoffman. Just all weird names. And then they thought for Sonny, Martin Sheen, Burt Reynolds. The only good one is Robert De Niro, and you can see De Niro's audition on YouTube, which his Sonny would have been great, but Martin Sheen, Burt Reynolds, Dustin Hoffman, Jack Nicholson as these Italian people just wouldn't have worked. Good thing Francis got his way, but I
feel like Francis Ford Coppola probably saw that De Niro audition and was like, wait.
Yeah, we're gonna save him. Because he kills it as Vito. He kills it as Vito. But that's jumping the gun. We'll talk about that movie another time. But man, that audition on YouTube is really great as Sonny. But I'm glad we got James Caan. But this is also a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas time. So next time you and your girlfriend or you and your significant other are discussing, I need to watch a Christmas movie, you can suggest Godfather.
40 minutes of Godfather.
How is this a Christmas movie?
You don't remember when Michael and Kay are shopping and they figure out that Vito got shot?
Yeah, Vito got shot during Christmas.
How long is that scene?
It was during Christmas.
So
what, 10 minutes of the movie that's 3 hours long?
No, I'd say it's a good 20 to 30 because Tom getting captured.
Yep.
All that stuff.
Okay, is it Christmas or is it just winter at that point?
No,
it's Christmas. It's Christmas time.
It's Christmas time. They have snowmen. They have shops selling Santa, shopping for presents. Yep, Christmas movie.
It's a movie that spans an entire decade, and we're going to call it a Christmas movie based off of one scene.
We may get 2 Christmas scenes in that decade.
I'm pretty sure the Goodfellas and Irishman are also probably Christmas movies.
Goodfellas is definitely a Christmas movie. Oh, that's a fact. That is a fact. More so than Die Hard. Don't even get me started on that. But just wanted to throw that out there. Also, some other interesting facts is they use real mafia members in the movie. Luca Brasi wasn't a traditional actor, and he was a real mafioso, and he was practicing his lines in his grandiose scene in the beginning. And Brando saw that and was like, "Nah, we're putting that in the movie," and it just worked really well. But we'll talk about that scene a little later.
So in the opening scene,
yeah, when Luca Brasi's practicing his lines at the wedding.
That was an improv bit.
Yeah, well, that was he was actually practicing his lines on the set, and they were just like, "Ooh, let's get this," and they just real quick filmed it and threw that in there. Because
what was it? Then my whole thought process is with Diane Keaton and kind of improvising that too. He's been like, that dude over there, he's creepy or whatever.
That was a good moment as well. But real mafia members, Carlo's actually a real Italian mafia member as well. So
and he throws around all these slurs.
Yeah, he throws on
Italians.
He throws around a lot of slurs, but that's his character. This is that time period. We'll get to all the slurs because there's a lot. But it's that time period. I digress. But let's get to the best scenes. Got to start off with the opening request of Don Corleone by Bonasera, just coming in there, and then Don's like, "You coming to me on my daughter's wedding?" bro, we're not even friends, you disrespectful cunt. But like, I'll play ball. He says that, his words, not mine. I'll play ball.
Paraphrase.
I'm paraphrasing, but I thought that was a great scene. Also, the music.
Yeah, at first I thought he was like I thought like they killed his daughter and he was asking them for, like to kill him back. But then like I realized that like they didn't, they just beat her up.
Yeah, they beat her up.
And I'm like, okay, so they go, then ask them to beat them back up. I don't know. He was asking them to kill him.
Yeah, he was asking them to kill him. And the guy, and Vito's like, I don't know if I'm about to go kill him for this. We'll torture him, but we're not about to kill him. No way. Not for you, bro. You don't even consider me a friend.
Yeah, as they say on Letterkenny, not my pig, not my farm, bud.
Great reference. I fuck with that. The next scene I got is the photo of the guy taking a picture of Don Barzini and him getting his shit destroyed. Also, Sonny spitting on the FBI and then destroying another photographer's camera. Just shows like this lifestyle of that they're living. Like they're not trying to have people up in there. They're not trying to be photographed. We're trying to keep all this shit low profile. And the FBI is like, bro, we're going to be here. And Sonny just spit on him. If I was that FBI dude, I'd have been pissed. You could have arrested him for that. That's assault.
I mean, he paid for the camera. He tossed him a couple $100.
Fuck that. I'm talking about the spit. I don't give a damn about the camera.
I mean, you know what you're signing up for when you go to one of those deals as the FBI. It's not a surprise.
Yeah, that is true.
They put people away for less.
Damn, but that is true as well. That's what I'm saying. Like he's lucky, but I guess the paperwork and everything that would have went along with taking him in would have been.
Well, they also know that the Corleones have intricate connections in politics and the courts. So what's the point at a certain point?
That's why it would have been bonehead by him. He would have gotten probably trouble by his superiors. But all right, the next scene I have is the arrival of Michael, only because like it shows that he's Don Vito's favorite son. He's always asking about him, and Michael's kind of the black sheep at the time, but like his dad cares a lot about him. Like he didn't even want to take the family picture unless he was there. Just this is the start of seeing Don Vito's love for them. Any scenes that y'all have in this particular area of the movie?
The Luca Brasi stuff, man. I think that, that's crazy that it was improv out there. And then, he practices lines, and then messes them up when he gets in. And I just thought that whole sequence just like really fit the character. And to think that, he was a real mafia guy and that all of that wasn't necessarily planned is just even great for Coppola. I mean, it just shows that he really had a set idea of where he was going with it.
Yeah, it just shows his greatness. I agree with that. Ian, any other scenes around this time that you have in there?
Yeah, I think this movie does a really good job of, having a very definite introduction and a very definite resolution. Even though there are two other movies behind this, I feel like it really captures one story very well. And the thing that kind of sets the scene is when Michael is introducing Kay to his family, and then they're sitting at that table and he's kind of explaining who everybody is and what their role is in the family. At the end of that speech, she's kind of dumbfounded at what he's telling her because he's being very blunt about, my father made this guy an offer he couldn't refuse, and that's how Johnny Fontaine got his singing gig. And so he's just saying, like, that's not me, this is not my character, who I am. He's just come back from World War II. So he's saying, I'm not, trying to stick around for any of this. I feel like Kay in that scenario is kind of his tie to the outside world in a sense. He's clearly not wanting to be there from his conversation with Kay, and he doesn't want to get dragged back into that family business. So he's kind of like, all right, I'm going to, come chill with Kay for a while, introduce her to the family, and then bounce again. Like, I don't think he was planning on really hanging out for too long.
That's a scene that I had written down for my Are We Sure? Because I was like, bruh, I don't know if you should be telling all the secrets, but I get it because everything that you said, plus I feel like Kay's the audience, because this is them setting up who these people are without having to show us any background, any flashbacks or anything. That's them letting us know, okay, these are the Corleones. This is why they're important. And like, we get all of that through a conversation with Michael and Kay.
Although movie idea sponsored by Pitch It, would love to see a movie about Michael in wartime Michael.
It's not a bad
That'd
idea.
be very dope prequel.
That's not my.
Well, the other reason Kay is the audience is because she, kind of represents the way the audience would react.
Yep.
Again, she was very surprised when Michael tells her all these things. And I guess we'll go through it as we break down the scenes, but she a lot of times is just the innocent bystander in the whole thing.
Yeah, she don't know what she's signing up for. She has no idea. But like, he's not trying to bring her in that at this point in time of his life. Like, this is innocent Michael, and like when it's like what you said, when he's telling her this, like he doesn't want to like be there. He doesn't necessarily want to. He's still like not invested in being in his family life. And his dad even says later on in the film, like he didn't want this for him. So like this was never Michael's goal. And you see that very clearly at this point.
Hey, but he wants to bring her in the family picture.
That's weird. Like, I don't know. That's weird. That like, if she's not important and it's like, why are you bringing her in your family's like wedding picture, your sister's wedding day picture? I don't know.
I think that could be a few things. Like maybe, maybe on the surface he doesn't want to be there, or like in his conscious he doesn't want to be there, but like subconsciously he still wants to like, be cool guy in the family. Like, hey, look, I'm doing well. I got somebody too.
Yeah,
let me pull her in the picture real quick. So because it kind of looked like a spur of the moment thing. Or it could just be like, he wants, again, with that tie to the outside world, wants to have a way out and be like, yeah, this is, my thing that I'm doing now. I'm going to take off, guys. See you later. And go do my thing with Kay.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's more for his own benefit than anything else.
That's true. If I was his sister, I'd have been like, nah, bro, she can't be in this picture. What's wrong with you?
It was my wedding day.
Yeah. Poor Carla. Or is that her name?
I don't even know this girl's name.
I don't think her name is
Connie.
Connie.
Called her Carla, dude.
Connie.
Oh, man.
Oh, it's Connie. Yeah.
Her husband is Carlo.
Yeah, her husband is Carlo. Fucking Adrian.
Adrian.
Connie's ass. God, Connie sucks. But we'll get to all that a little bit later. All right. Next up I thought it was just a funny scene. Don Vito talking to Johnny Fontaine, telling him to man up, and then telling Sonny he shouldn't cheat on his wife. I just thought that was a funny scene. Like, as much as like Don Vito's a bad dude, he's still about his family. He's a family man, still trying to steer his sons in the right direction. I fucked with that. The next thing I got is Tom talking to the Hollywood producer about Johnny Fontaine, and the Hollywood producer's like, I'm not trying to hear this. You insert your Italian slur here. Tell him to go kiss my ass. and Tom was like, all right, I gotta go. He's like, wait, what you mean? He's like, nah, bro, you want me to tell him go kiss your ass? I gotta go tell him do it. He doesn't like to, hear bad news.
I thought you were talking about when he first gets there, and then like later on he's like, oh wait, no, you Don Corleone. Oh no,
that's earlier. But that's all that shit's hilarious. And then comes to find out the next day, the Hollywood producer is sleeping with a horse head cut off in his bed. And I'm like 95% sure his leg was cut off. Like, I rewinded that film three times. I'm pretty sure his leg was cut off. Like,
if that's a major are we sure, because that dude would have been awake.
Yeah, dude, you wake up if someone cuts your leg off. I don't care how deep of a sleep you're in, what part of the REMs you're getting at that time. You're waking up.
REMs.
I'm pretty sure his leg was okay. Wait. All right. His name is Jack Wolfs. I'm looking up on Wiki right now. So
his leg was not cut off.
I think his leg was cut
off. No way,
bro.
They definitely would have made a bigger deal out of it if they had also cut his leg off, because that would have been messed up.
I'm pretty sure, because he was pissed off. He told him all this because he ruined his actress, because Johnny Fontaine was banging her, and he didn't fuck with that. Okay, wait, here we go. All right.
Yeah, that's why he wouldn't give him the movie.
Yeah, that's why he didn't give Fontaine the movie. Oh shit. Okay, maybe they didn't cut his leg off.
I think there was just so much blood that it might not even have looked like his leg was even there, or maybe it was like under his other leg or something.
It looked crazy, bro. But man, I guess y'all are right, because that would have been a big "Are we sure?" I rewinded it like 3 times. I wasn't too sure, but great scene though. The horse head. That would have freaked me out waking up in the morning seeing a your prized horse in your fucking bed. Jesus, you should have just gave.
I appreciate the
Should
thoroughness of your research with that.
have just gave Johnny Fontaine the fucking role, man. Oh, you know, I gotta be thorough. I gotta look it up real quick for the peeps. All right, the next thing I have after that is Salazzo kills Luca Brasi, and they send him to sleeping with the fishes. Luca Brasi sleeping.
Oh, we're skipping the whole
I might have skipped some shit. Oh yeah, you're right. I skipped the meeting between
That's fair.
Salazzo.
It's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, I skipped the meeting with Salazzo in the family. Ian, you can talk about that since you brought that up.
So this is your Christmas bit that you skipped over your whole Christmas bit.
No.
This is Christmas time. This is Christmas time.
This is all at Christmas time. Okay.
The 25 days if it's ABC Family. So Salazzo is backed by one of the other families, the Titalia family.
And who is really backed by the Barzini family, which we find out later.
Well, we'll find out now. The Salazzo comes to, calls a meeting with Vito and some of the other members of the Corleone family, including Tom Hagen and Sonny. And he says, I want to ask for your permission to start moving drugs through your territory and have protection, with your political and court connections with the judges that you're tight with and things, so we can just move this product freely. And Vito says no, because, I don't want to, I have other business ventures that I'm in. And to those people that I'm in business with, this would look sketchy to them. And it would probably cause me to lose out on other business that I could have. So because of that reason, I'm going to say no. And Salazzo comes back with, well, the Titalia family would be providing security, like the whole thing, you wouldn't have to worry about, actual men on the street, whatever his deal was. And Sonny bursts out with, you really think we're going to trust the Titalias to protect our family? And Vito, stares at him and he backs off. And then, he's like, I spoil my kids. They don't know how to act. I apologize, doing the classic Don bits to preserve the respect. And then Salazzo leaves and Vito scolds Sonny and says, never make your thoughts known to someone outside of the family again. Never let your guard down again, basically.
Bro, Sonny,
that was a powerful moment.
Sonny was just showing how he's not ready to be a boss, constantly, always showing why he's just a bad Don. But no, that scene, that scene is very, very important for why Salazzo kills Luca Brasi, because they didn't agree, and he's starting to take out, the Corleone family to get to Talia and Donzo Barzini like front line. So he kills Luca, and then they do this.
Vito sends him to spy on him.
Yep, and they do the assassination attempt on Don Corleone. They also kidnap Tom Hagen. And then Salazzo calls him and tells him that they took Tom Hagen, starts threatening Sonny, and then he gets the fishes, the ultimate sleeping with the fishes scene. Luca Brasi's sleeping with the fishes. Schubert, any scenes around this time or after this that you got?
Well, I was definitely sad to see Luca Brasi go so soon. But I think it's pretty important in the scene where they are still trying to figure out what happened to Luca Brasi when they get the fishes, where like Michael's like trying to chime in and be like, we need to do this. And they're like, no, Michael, you don't need to be involved in any of this, blah, blah, blah. Just stay on the phone, keep calling Luca. This is the time where Michael's starting to get his ideas that maybe he needs to do a little bit more with the family, especially in this time of crisis, but he keeps getting pushed out. Yeah. So I think this is kind of like the beginning of him wanting to take a bigger role
in the family. Yeah, no, 100%. Also, just a funny moment. Sonny's just going crazy, wanting to kill someone. Paulie wasn't there the day that his dad got shot, so they go and kill Paulie. And just one of my favorite lines was when fucking Clemenza was like, leave the gun, take the cannoli. Loved it. Loved it. I love fucking Clemenza. He's amazing. And then also Clemenza cooking in the kitchen, showing Michael how to cook. Love that. Real shit. I get all my Italian cooking knowledge from this film and Goodfellas. You got to shave your garlic, get them razor thin, put them in that pan, let them caramelize, and then this shit with the red sauce and tomatoes tells me how to cook all my pastas and whatnot. Shout out to these film teaching.
Michael, tell the girl you love her.
Clemenza, man, he has some of the best scenes. Also, real quick, Kevin Gates took his name from Luca Brasi on this movie. So just a little insight there. The next scene I got is after the Clemenza cooking scene. Oh, Michael goes to visit his dad and then moves him into a different room to protect him. Michael tells him, "Don't worry, I'm back. I'm going to take care of you." And this is a big moment because Vito's showing him that, again, why he loves him. He starts to shed a little tear. Michael is clearly his favorite son. Also, again, like Schubert says, he's going deeper and deeper in, like, I need to be here for my family. My father's dying. Like, it's time for me to take a bigger role. And then one of the funniest things was when Michael and this dude who's coming to bring flowers are just standing outside. Michael makes the dude throw the flowers away and put his hand in his pocket like he has a gun. And then the fucking Tatalias and people drive by and they think Michael and these dudes are armed. So they leave away. And then dude just starts shaking, having to pull out a cigarette. I'd have been shaken too in that situation. Poor Enzo.
Baker, yeah.
Enzo got screwed into a bad situation. Enzo's hand was shaking so bad. He was so nervous.
One of my favorite scenes. Like I love the scenes with the super tension. And that was one of those scenes with a lot of tension. And you could definitely tell that Enzo, who's someone who's not necessarily a main point of the film, and the job that actor did to show the intensity of that scene, I think, is worth noting. Because I mean, like, that's the thing that makes some of these bigger movies, is when you have acting performances from the smaller characters that really, build the intensity, and they don't take you out of the movie.
That's
so
a
I
fact.
think that it's important.
That's a fact. Enzo definitely played a big part, and it's like you said, it's those side people who build up the moments of intensity with the main characters. The next thing I got is after. Oh wait, were you gonna say, Ian?
I was gonna say, I think as much as the previous scene with Salazzo and the meeting with the Corleone family earlier, when Sonny shows he's not fit to be Don. I think this is when Michael shows that he is fit to be Don, because he has the wherewithal to move his father and protect him, and how to kind of pull off the "we got guns when we don't really have guns."
Yeah,
keep us cool under pressure.
That's a fact. Sonny would have tried to do something.
Oh yeah, he would have gone out there and tried to start a fight or something. Either that or lured them inside and try to kick their asses there.
And got everybody killed. Yeah, no, exactly. That's a great point. That this is a moment where Michael shows he is definitely fit to be Don. The next thing I got is McCluskey, that douche, come and punch Michael, and it just shows it just shows that they Salazzo and them are tied into the gang, and then Tom showed up right on time, saving Michael from the cops, and fuck that cop captain. And it just goes to show cops always been the assholes, but Michael and them did have some cops on his side. The other cop was like, "Bro, you don't have to do that. He's not even in the gang.
He's a war hero."
Yeah, he's a war hero. And McCluskey's like, "Bro, shut up. I'm doing what I want." But Tom Hagen saved everybody, saved the day, came right on time. Shout out to Tom. And then the next thing I got is Michael plans the meeting with McCluskey and Salazzo. And then this is another instance, shows why he's going to be a good godfather, with him and Sonny, and just telling him like, "Nah, bro, we need to kill this cop, blah, blah, blah. Like, we got to take care of this. Like, he's a bad cop. Like, Tom, you can go in the newspapers and slur this guy. Like, we can handle this." Also, this is Sonny talking to Tom about how he needs to calm down so he doesn't lose their backing. And Tom was like, "Bro, Sonny, you're doing too much, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is you're fucking up." And then Michael steps in and saves the day, kind of. And another instance where Michael shows he'll be a good godfather. I'm trying to see, is this when Sonny tells Tom he's not fit, he's not a wartime, he wish he had a wartime consigliere? Is that this, or is that later?
I think it's later.
No, that's later.
That's later. Okay, I was just making sure. And then after that, you got Michael plans the meeting, and then he goes meets
Clemenza, shows him how to commit murder.
Yep, he
gives
does.
him the gun with the tape.
Yep, and they put it in. They tell him it's gonna be inside the back. Don't worry about it. They go to the meeting. Salazzo, Michael, and McCluskey didn't like when Michael's like, "Oh, we're going to Jersey." It just seemed a little sketchy to me. If I was Salazzo, I'd have been like, "What, bro?" But maybe that's just because I know what's gonna happen. that I think that, but I just felt like, yo, Salazzo, be more on your toes.
That's a normal New Yorker question, because who the hell is trying to go to Jersey?
Dark point taken. And then they go to the restaurant, and then Michael asks to go to the bathroom. He comes back, bow, shoots on Salazzo and McCluskey. But Michael didn't seem like he wanted to kill him. He was sweating. He was a little nervous. But to me, this is the death of Michael's innocence. This is the end of it. And Michael is now like being birthed anew as like in this life that he didn't want to be in.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. This is what fully cements him as being part of the family at this point. We had seen it up until here. He's kind of, not only is he not sure if he wants to be in, but the other family members think, oh, we got to, keep Michael safe. I guess he's like the baby of the family, at least to them.
Yeah, he is. I think besides Connie, but like he's the youngest boy.
Yeah. So they're like, oh no, Michael, you don't get messy with this. But he really pushes back. They kill Tatalia's son, and then he's the one that comes up with the idea to kill Salazzo and McCluskey. And both to them and to his own family, he kind of fakes the desire to, make peace with them or whatever, or like, clean up the family's mess at that point. But really, I think he wants to do it to prove himself, to not only his family, but also kind of to himself, that he can actually go through with this lifestyle and commit.
Yep.
So this is that final decision that really cements his lifestyle at this point.
And then now they got to send his ass to Italy. He's got to go.
Filmmaking note for that scene, another one of my favorites, very intense, but the Italian speaking in Sicilian to one another, and how we don't really know what was said or what, Salazzo was telling Michael that maybe he was trying to sway him in a little bit, because you could tell that he was a little bit questioning everything. And we'll never know what was said in the moment. So
nope, never will. And that's something that I always really wondered. So Michael then goes to Italy. They get his ass out of here. He's got to jump ship because the heat's on, the pressure's on. And then the next big moments I have is Sonny and Tom and Fredo are talking to Vito about what's going on. Fredo says he's going to go learn the casino business. And then Sonny and Tom argue about the war. And Sonny's telling him, this is where it happens. I need a wartime consigliere and you're not that. And then boom, and then Sonny and Carlo are arguing at the dinner table. Sonny's telling us don't talk to my sister like that. Just foreshadowing for some shit that's coming. Carlo and Sonny's beef begins there. And then Michael meets Apollonia and has dinner with her family. Apollonia, 16 years old. The only negative about this film, Apollonia is really young. She's between the ages of either 14 or 16 in real life. I'm not talking about Apollonia in the movie. I'm talking about that actress. A little weird.
That's rough, dude. That's rough.
A little weird. So
that definitely doesn't fly today.
No, God, no.
We'd have the biggest lawsuit in the country on our hands.
It'd be all over TMZ and people would be talking about it constantly on Twitter. It'd be cancel the Godfather 100%. She was like,
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on. I mean, we're talking about how many shows do we have now where the teacher's sleeping with a student?
But those actors are 18. This girl's 16.
And there's no sex scene.
That there is no sex scene. That's true. That is true.
No, there is. I mean, she takes her shirt off.
Oh yeah. See, there is a sex scene.
Yeah, there's a whole scene where she's topless.
Yeah, no, that's not flying today. Ian's right. I'm with Ian on this one. That's not flying.
No, that's not flying today.
All right, then
gotta find a different actress for that one.
Hey, Netflix sodomized a kid with a broom handle, so
they did.
Listen, I'm not saying everybody else has been doing great since then. I'm just saying Godfather definitely is also in the wrong.
That's not. Yeah, I really don't know if that's fine, but. All right, next up we got Sonny finds out Carlo beat up Connie, and he goes and beats his ass in the streets. Beats his ass with all those air punches.
Air punches.
But still, Carlo got embarrassed, bro. And this is a moment that we need to just put in our head, Carlo's embarrassment here, because it will come back to to haunt someone. But after that, Michael marries Apollonia. Poor Kay just gets dismissed. Like, Kay's out of the picture. Michael marries Apollonia. Like, what's up?
She's been going.
Yeah,
she's been going for like 30, 45 minutes of the movie at this. See, that's what's crazy is this movie is so damn long that even though it was just, a couple scenes ago, it's like 45 minutes of content away from that.
Yeah.
Because like we kind of glossed over the whole Michael, dating Apollonia and that conversation that he has with the guy's father or the girl's father. And
you don't like the Italy part?
It's good content.
Well, no, talking to his father, talking to the father and all that was fine. But I mean, like, them like walking around with all the people behind them and stuff like that. I'm like, whatever. Like,
no, dude, because this is the whole thing is the setup for the end of the Italy scene.
That's true too.
Apollonia gets blown up in the car because Michael has the chance now, finally, what he was trying to do with Kay at the beginning of the movie and get out. He has the chance now to do that with Apollonia. He could stay in Sicily for a while and just like chill with her family if he wanted to. Or he could hightail it back to New York, which is what he was about to have to do. But this is his this was his ideal relationship. He was actually in love with this woman. He wasn't just, palling around with her like he was with Kay.
That's a fact.
And so this whole, him walking around and meeting the family and going to dinners and all that is showing like he's really actually becoming attached to this woman. It's not just like, I got to find a wife. So here, I'm going to marry this hot chick from Sicily. And, he's really emotionally invested in this woman. And then when she dies, you can kind of see the effects of that by his actions immediately afterwards. When he starts to become more powerful in the family. So I think this is a big, if killing McCluskey and Sollozzo was his move into the family with both feet, no longer 1 foot in, 1 foot out, then this is his, maybe the real death of his innocence as a human being, rather than just the death of his innocence as a bystander and civilian versus a real member of the family. This is a much more personal, intricate, scarring for him. And
this is his affirmation.
If this hadn't happened, he might have been a much different leader.
That's a fact. This is his affirmation into it. It's like Apollonia's dead. I have nothing. Like, it's over with. I'm this done. Like, I'm doing this head on, and I don't care who gets in my way. Like, y'all are responsible for her death. F y'all. But there's some.
He's got nothing left to lose at that point.
There are some scenes in between this before Apollonia's death that's very important. Connie breaks everything in the house. She's just breaking everything.
That's even later.
Throwing plate. No, that's before Apollonia dies.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it is. Bro, I'm looking.
That might be the second fight. Is that the first fight? I think she breaks things in both fights.
Look, she breaks everything, and then Carlo takes off his belt and starts whipping her, and that's what she calls.
Oh shoot! You know what? That is before she.
That is before. Up. Yes, that's before. I know. I got everything in order. Just Schmoogel. What is it again?
No, I'm reading it. I'm reading it right
now. Hilarious.
But yeah, so Carlo's taking off his belt, busting up Connie's ass. That shit always gives me the heebie-jeebies because I'm like, damn, bro, you took off your belt to whip this girl lady like that. You're a fucked up guy. Like, that shit always fucks with me. And then Sonny doesn't listen, goes headstrong right out of there, doesn't tell anybody where he's going. Tom's like, slow down. Dude doesn't listen, gets on the highway, goes to like the fucking toll booth and just gets gunned the fuck down. Amazing scene.
Savagely gunned.
Yes.
Well, and at the time, like having watched this for the first time through, I was like, okay, well, what the hell was that? Like, why? What's going on? He was just driving over to, go help out his sister with her abusive husband. Now all of a sudden he's getting gunned down at the toll booth. So I thought that was, there's a lot of, underlying things like that, that just, you don't really either know what the explanation is, or maybe you don't see the importance at the time. And then later they bring it back up and explain it in a really tightly knit, put together way. And I thought this was an example of one of those scenes where at first I was like, okay, I don't understand. I'm just going to keep watching. And eventually they got to it. I thought that was different than a lot of other movies that I've seen where normally there's a very clear progression, especially now today in the, copy paste era of just all television shows are becoming the same and all movies are kind of being recycled. Like this was a really interesting way of piecing things together where you don't necessarily have all the answers at one time.
There's
and even
a lot
at
of
the
show
end,
show
there's
not
still a lot
tell.
of stuff that, might be up for debate.
No,
So,
that's a fact. Schubert, what's the scene after all this that you have?
Oh, well, no, the scene that comes in after this is the scene that Ian mentioned earlier that he said was one of his favorites, the Tom talking to Vito.
Yeah, Tom telling Vito that Sonny got murdered, aka it's time for Michael to come home. Shit was super sad. Oh, and then then that leads into Vito going to the morgue, which gives me one of my favorite lines. They killed my boy.
Look how they massacred my boy.
Yeah, look how they massacred my boy. Oh, I loved it. That's like my favorite line in the movie. Fucking incredible. Loved it. And then Apolloni dies. Like now it's time for you really to come home, Mike. Sonny's dead. Apollonia's dead. It's time. The Tatalias, all of them gotta go. And then, but before they know it's them, the meeting of the five family happens to end the war, and then just all kind of crazy shit. All the slurs up in here. These dudes have no chill. But then they go and they settle everything down. Schubert, I feel like this is a scene that you like.
Yeah. The other thing I was thinking of that we didn't say was that Michael's arranging the five families meeting. But yeah, so this is, I'm caught up to where we are now. I was catching back up to everything, but I don't know. I guess it is one of the scenes that I do like, but
I saw something, somebody posed the question, did Vito know that Carlo was the one who lured Sonny out of the house? Because if he was smart enough to figure out that it was Barzini behind everything all along, even going into this meeting with the five families, he had an idea that it was Barzini.
Yeah, he does. He figures that out.
Then would he also have known that Carlo is the one that lured Sonny out of the house so that Barzini's people could murder him? Like, do you think he figured that part out, or?
I don't know but see, I think nobody knows why Sonny left the house. Except Connie.
Yeah, because Sonny didn't stop to tell anybody, even Tom, who was yelling to stop him.
Yeah, no, Tom had no idea. And Vito was still in the hospital. So he wasn't moving. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. That's something that never gets answered. Because that's something that we'll talk about a little later because Michael ends up figuring that out. But the scene where Vito figures out it's Barzini is amazing because he tells Tom, like, the Tatalians, they're a bunch of pimps. They couldn't do this. It was Barzini that set all this up. And it was just like, oh, shit, let's go. Beef. I loved it. And then the next scene I got written down, Michael goes to see Kate Lamo. And then Kate's like, how long you been back? A year.
Dude, bro.
Dude was back ruthless. A whole year.
Absolutely ruthless, dude.
After she went to go see
the
family.
She showed up and he was like, nah, tell her I'm not here. I don't want to talk to her yet. Give it a year.
A year, a whole year. Kate should have moved on. Poor Kate. Kate should have moved the fuck on, bro. Jesus.
Nah, dude, she was in way too deep. It was the classic guy that got away for her, and then he came back, and she couldn't resist.
Jesus.
And she agrees to marry him.
Well, and then she because they're talking, they have one of my favorite quotes was when they're talking about like his father getting men killed, and then Kate's basically like senators and presidents don't get people killed, and Michael goes, you know how naive you sound? Senators and presidents don't have men killed. Now who's being naive, Kay? You are. You're naive, Kay. It's just a great conversation between them. But she goes back to him, She goes back to him. Then Michael meets with fake ass Tessio. gosh, fuck Tessio. I fucking hate him. Michael meets with him and then Michael meets with Tessio. Tessio's trying to get some shit popping. Michael's like, nah, bro, you're not getting that. Michael's now a Godfather. Tessio's like trying to talk to Tom. Michael's like, Tom's out. Tom's out. You're not a wartime consigliere, Tom. I'm sorry. Like, and then Tom's talking to Vito, and he's like, well, Sonny was a bad Don. You're not saying you're a bad consigliere, Tom. You're just not wartime. And Michael wants to have Vito because it makes sense. Like, who's better to him to discuss with besides Vito? Ian, what'd you think of this moment? I thought this was great because this like Tom got screwed. Tom got screwed out of the business.
Well, I mean, you could look at it that way. You could also look at it as them actually legitimately trying to protect Tom from what they're about to do. Because at this point, Michael is, they realize that Vito's towards the end of his life. So he steps back, obviously still kind of recovering physically from being shot. And Fredo is obviously not the guy to take the reins. So then Michael's like, all right, we're going to, start transitioning our family to Vegas. And that's why they send Fredo out there to kind of, figure shit out for them there.
Yeah.
And so, maybe as a way to kind of get Tom out of the way, but also like, keep him out of the bad stuff that might happen if stuff doesn't go well for them in Vegas. At least Tom might still be,
not culpable. Yeah, true. And he could just be a lawyer and handle things that way. Good point. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. Tom had to go. The next thing I love, Michael goes to Vegas, meets with Fredo's crazy ass. Fredo has a bunch of women and shit in the room ready to go. And Mike's like,
in a band.
Yeah, in a band. Mike's like, get these people out of here. Get them out of here, Fredo. And then in comes Mo Green. Michael's trying to tell Mo Green to that he's gonna buy the casino. And Mo Green's like, you're buying my casino. Fuck you. You're not buying my casino. Like, and Mo gives one of my favorite lines. I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were out with cheerleaders. Just like, don't tell me what to do, Michael. And Michael's like, look, bro, I'm gonna get up out of here. Like, you slapped my brother. Don't disrespect my brother like that, Mo Green. Like, fuck you. And then Mo Green leaves. And then Fredo hits him with like, Mike, you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. And then Mike's like, bro, Fredo, don't you ever take sides with anyone against the family. Again, fucking Fredo, bro. Fredo, big pussy energy. BPE from Fredo. A bunch of
Is that your favorite line in the movie?
Oh, that whole scene that's my favorite scene in the movie. I love it. I love the Mo Green shit, bro. It's fucking amazing.
Like, you can't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that.
I love it, bro. Fredo, you can't come. Don't come to Las Vegas, Mike, and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. It's incredible. That's Fredo's best line in all of these movies. I fucking love it. But yeah, no, Mo Green was like, not down for the get down. We'll see if that fucks with him later. Michael's like, all right, bet, bro. But Fredo, your ass getting slapped around like a bitch. But you're out here being nice to Mo Green. But I think that just shows Fredo doesn't know what he was doing. He was treating Mike like he was coming to enjoy Vegas when Mike was there on business. Like, dude was being a sleaze. Fucking Fredo.
Unbelievable. And one that, just goes further to why he's not the guy in charge.
He'd get Jesus. They would be under. They would be under if he was in charge. All right, the next scene I got is, Michael and Vito discussing the Barzini assassination and telling him what he should do. He tells him whoever comes to him with the Barzini meeting is the traitor. And shout out to that scene. That's where, Drake and Light Up. That's what Jay-Z tells him. Just throwing that out there. That lyric was in there. This movie influential, but it's just like, yo, be prepared. Whoever comes to tell you that we should meet with Barzini is going to kill you. And then Vito dies, which is a great scene. Great scene. Vito dies. And then the next scene is the funeral of Vito. And Tessio goes and does the unthinkable, that fuck boy, and calls for the meeting. What a bitch. Fuck Tessio. He thought it was going to be Clemenza, but it wasn't. I'm glad Clemenza stayed true.
Yeah, Clemenza's the boy. But you skimmed over what you were mentioning earlier on in this episode, where you were talking about Don Corleone admitting that he never wanted Michael to be a gangster.
Yeah, that's in that conversation where was talking to him about the assassination, and they're talking about his son. They're talking to us about Michael's son and like, how's your son doing? And basically, I never wanted this for you. And then Michael's basically assuring him that that's going to happen in the future, Pop. Like, we will go legal. My son's not going to have to do this. I'm going to be the last of us to have to, go down this path of illegal activity. But Vito got to die pretty happy with his grandson in that patch or whatever. The funeral was a great moment. Like I said, Tessio does the unthinkable, ask about the meeting, and then Michael and Tom discuss how they're gonna come at him, and boy, do they come at him. Everybody goes. Everybody. He clears that's another one of my favorite lines. I'm here to clear the debts. The Barzini, Salazzo, Tessio, all of them. They all got to go.
Mo Green.
I'm clear. Yeah, Mo Green got shot in the eye, bro. Best death. Mo Green had some of the best. We will get to Carlo, but out of all those deaths, which one did y'all think was the best? To me, it was Mo Green. The dude got shot up in the bed with his wife, and then fucking Barzini got killed on the steps of the courthouse or whatever.
By a cop. Lame.
Yeah. And then the dude who died
Mo Green.
The dude who died in the fucking in the barber chair, and then the dude who died in the fucking spin thing, whatever those things are called.
Revolving door.
Yeah, the revolving door. Loved all of that.
The revolving door one was creative. I would never thought of that. Just lock the door at the top real quick so you can't get out.
Starts busting them up. Crazy. Michael cleared all the debts, and then the best conversation after the baptism. Michael pulls Carlo to the sides like, "Yo, we're not going to Vegas." Connie's like, "Bro, I ain't taking my husband." "Shut up, Connie. We're not going to Vegas." Pull him aside. Did Michael know Carlo killed Sonny? I think Michael baited him into saying this because Carlo tells him, like, Carlo admits to it and everything. But I feel like Carlo snitched on himself. I feel like Michael didn't know, but he was just I feel like it's like what Ian was saying earlier about Vito, but I feel like Michael had an educated guess, but I don't feel like he had any idea.
No, I at least not from, me on my first watch. I don't think Michael knew.
You saying no? You think Tessio told him? You think someone snitched on him? On Carlo?
I think no, I mean,
dude froze.
Gonna happen because
you got to repeat it. You froze.
Oh, okay. I think he had an idea that it was gonna happen, or that it had happened that way, and like maybe he needed that confirmation. But I mean, like, the way that he has it set up, he has a plan that like something's gonna happen. It's like he didn't ask. I feel like if he didn't know, he wouldn't have set up this scenario, or at least if he didn't have like a very strong idea.
But if he would have said the other name, then what happens? Carlo doesn't die?
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like he set that up for Carlo to die the whole time.
Got you.
So regardless of what was said.
Okay.
Well, I don't think Carlo was going to live anyway because, I feel like, to go back to what I had asked you guys earlier about, did Vito know? Vito's whole deal was he was never going to take vengeance on anybody again. And so that's why Carlo survived that long. I feel like Michael was the one who was going to come clean up that mess all along. So no matter what Carlo said, I think he was going to die for just beating Connie, whether he was explicitly involved in Sonny's death or not. I think he was kind of done for.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm rocking with that. I can rock with that. And then Connie comes in, cries to Michael. Michael whispers in her ear, and then she starts freaking out, like, "Yo, go get her a doctor." I feel like Michael told her, "Your husband killed Sonny," straight up, and she betrayed the family. And Michael's like, "Go get her a doctor. Get her out of here." And then Kay coming in, asking Michael about his business. "Don't ask me about my business, Kay. Don't ask me about my business. All right, this one time I'll let you ask me." Then he lies. "You had anything to do with this?" Nah. Nah. Get out of here,
Get out of here.
Leave. As the door's closing, they come up to him, "Godfather." And I feel like at that moment, she's like, "Fuck, I'm in it now." It's like, Michael's done. It's over with now. I lost him. It's over. Bitch, you've been lost him.
You ever lie about your business?
No, I
Don't ask me about. All right, I'll let you ask me this one time, and then she asks you, and you just lie.
I plead
No,
the
you
fifth.
never been there.
Plead
All
the
right.
fifth. I plead the fifth.
All right, it's whatever. Don't worry about it.
Can't answer that one. But, it's funny times. But that's all the scenes we got. Any other scenes that I missed that y'all may have had?
Yeah, I think this, going back to the beginning, when we set the scene with Michael and Kay, we kind of do the perfect wrap up to that opening scene with the ending of the movie.
Yep.
You see Kay wanting with all her heart to trust Michael the same way, we want to believe as the audience that Michael's still a good guy on the inside. Despite all of these horrible things that he's just done, the countless murders he's just, been responsible for at the very least, if not committed. Kay still wants to trust him and believe that, all of this time that she spent with him hasn't been for nothing, and that he's, still the same guy that she fell in love with. But at the end of the movie, the closing scene is the capos arrive to pay reverence to him as the Don.
Yep.
And they come over and close the door on her. And the last shot of the movie is her face, just kind of sinking in for her that, he's not the guy that I married. He still is this horrible guy.
That's a fact.
My life is kind of shit now.
My life is screwed.
My husband is this awful guy, and I can't get out of it.
He killed his sister's husband on the baptism of his godchild. He made his godchild a bastard.
Yeah, man.
No.
He was standing at the altar. No, that was a little bit later. I mean, it wasn't at the exact same time, but yeah, he was the one who's now responsible for his godson being fatherless.
Yeah,
not a bastard, but he is fatherless.
That's what it is. He's fatherless. Yep. So crazy shit.
He's not Jon Snow.
Yeah, it's not Jon Snow. Here's some other quotes I had, just like some of my favorite quotes. Sleeping with the fishes. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding. It's not personal. It's strictly business. Come on, kill me like your father and the rest of your family. That's Carlo to Connie when he's beating Connie's ass. Look how they massacred my boy. You know how naive you sound. Senators and presidents don't have men killed. Who's being naive now? Kay, you're out, Tom. You're out. And that's Michael to Tom. And then I buy you out. You don't buy me out. Mo Green to Michael. Is that why you slap my brother around in public? You straighten my brother out. Michael to Mo Green. I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were out with cheerleaders. Mo Green's comment. And then, Mike, you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that. And then Fredo don't ever take sides with anyone against the family. Oh, women and children can be careless, but not men. That's Vito to Michael. You think I'd make my sister a widow? Michael to Kay. That's your husband. That's your husband. Connie to Kay. Shut up, Connie. Don't ask me about my business, Kay. All right, this one time I'll let you ask me about my affairs. That's all the quotes I got. If y'all have any other quotes, y'all can go ahead right now. I just love shit on Connie. Shut up, Connie.
Nah, I just love leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Oh yeah, leave the gun, take the cannoli. That's a great one as well. All right.
I had one other. It was Sollozzo when he kidnaps Tom. As they're walking out of the building when he's releasing him, he says, "I don't like violence, Tom. I'm a businessman. Blood is a big expense."
That's a good one.
I thought that was a good one too.
All right, let me see. Do I have any other Are We Sures? We talked about Michael talking to Kate. We acknowledged that the man didn't have his leg cut off. Oh, the mafia was against drugs, blah, blah, blah. Don Corleone. I was shocked he survived the attempt. It's 1962, 1970, around that time. Dude should have died.
Yeah, I can't believe all those bullets would have been through and through. It's with the guns that they had back then, you would have thought that they would have been some made out of lead or some kind of would have just died from being sick by something. I mean,
well, he got shot 5 times in the back.
Dude should have been dead.
Hit no vital organs.
Hit nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
And all of them went through.
You look on his back, they're some of them are hitting his lungs. One of them looks like it's right in the middle of his back on the spine.
One looked like it was in the kidney.
After that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, he was fucked. Also, Fredo couldn't grab the gun and shoot after. What a bitch. Fuck you, Fredo. Gosh. All right, but
It was
that's
intentional.
that's all I got with the Are We Sure's. Let's get to the sixth man of the movie. I'll start with you,
Wait,
Ian.
no, you think Fredo was in on it the whole time? We're not going away from that.
No, it wasn't. What's his face? The poor guy who got killed. It was all Fredo. Fredo told him to stay home.
Oh, Paulie.
Carlo was innocent.
Yeah, Paulie was innocent.
Paulie guy's fucked. Speaking on Paulie and other six men of the movie, Ian, who do you think was the sixth man of this movie? The person who wasn't in it that much, came in, got buckets, helped the movie do well, and then got up out of there.
I would say Kay probably. Again, just for her kind of being the outsider role. I also thought Luca Brasi was a great sixth man.
All right. I'm not mad at either of those.
Sleeping with the fishes.
Schubert, who you got? Who do
Clemenza, bro.
All right, you're going with Clemenza?
Clemenza teaching life lessons.
Okay, see, I'm either with Clemenza or I'm with Mo Green, man. Mo Green came in, gave a fire performance, dropped a quick 15, and left. He just was
and had a solid death.
Yeah, exactly. Got 2 assists on the way out. He did a solid 15 and 2.
What is that, like a 2-minute shift in the NBA?
All he did was come in 2 minutes and just went on fire. He was just
maybe
knocking
90
every
seconds
three down, like real fast. Came in, did his thing. I got
Quinn
Clemenza
Cook Lakers minutes.
But I'm going with Mo Green, man. Mo Green was the sixth man. He was the Lou Will of this movie. He came in.
No, Mo Green was the 11th man of this movie.
Oh, no way.
Mo Green's barely making the rotation at this point.
You're lucky Mo Green's not a starter.
Yeah, you're right. I probably would have turned the movie off if Mo Green was a starter.
No way. One of the best. Shout out to my guy, Mo, man. You just unappreciative. All right, let's jump to the winners. Look, I didn't nominate characters with this, but if I had to, Michael wins. But if I'm going like real life, Al Pacino won this movie, bro. Al Pacino won this, set up his entire career. Like, dude blew the fuck up. This is Al Pacino's dub sack. Schubert, who you got winning?
Both Al Pacino and Michael. I mean, that's pretty much the only person who wins throughout the entire thing. Everyone else kind of catches some big L's. That's
a fact. All right, Ian, who you got winning?
Yeah, man. I either got to go with Al Pacino or maybe if we're talking in terms of the actual movie, maybe Tom Hagen as well would be a winner.
Okay, interesting.
Because doesn't he get a spot back as the consigliere at the end of the movie?
No, he's just the lawyer.
Okay.
Because that's when Tessio asked him, like,
Michael.
Tessio was like, yo, Tessio was like, can you do it? Get me out of this one pickle, Tom. He's like, nah, bro, fuck you. You're out of here. You're dead. I can't do nothing. I'm out. I'm not doing nothing for your ass. But let's get to the losers. I got a lot nominated. I got Carlo. I got Sonny. I got Connie. I got Apollonia. She just took Apollonia didn't ask for none of that. She just died. I got Kate living with Michael and living all that shit. And I got Tom, but I don't think Tom should be a loser. So I'm gonna go with Carlos, Sonny, Connie, Apollonia, and Kate. I don't know who's gonna win. Yeah, Kate, not Kate. Yeah. Schubert, who you nominating as losers and who you got?
Connie, and that's it.
Just Connie? Oh.
Just Connie, dude. Like she gets pounded on in that scene is terrible. She loses her husband at the end, who was an asshole, and then cries about it. Like, that dude wasn't a fucking asshole. Yeah. And he killed and got her brother killed. But not only that, but the whole first beginning of the movie is this chick's wedding, and no one gives a shit about her. No one gives a shit about her at her damn wedding. No one's paying any damn attention to her wedding. No one even cares. Like, Connie's not barely even brought up. Vito at least is like, yeah, I gotta like be in my daughter's wedding for a minute. He gets one dance, but they gotta push the picture back because Michael's not there. The Don's got to be in there granting people's wishes, because that's what happens in these weddings or whatever. No one cares about Connie.
That's a
and
fact.
what she married homeboy Carlo, who's a jackass. So like, she didn't get anything. She got nothing.
Yeah, she took a L. She took a L. Ian, who you got losing?
I'm saying Kay, man. She just gets duped and duped and duped again. The whole movie. And, at the end of the movie, like I say, it finally sinks in for her. But at that point, it's too late. She had the one chance where she asked about his affairs, and she could have, bounced if he had told her the truth, or maybe she was a little bit more intuitive. But I don't know, man. Love is blind sometimes.
All right, so
it did not work out for her.
It seems like I'm either gonna have to go with mental abuse, mental and like verbal abuse, or straight on physical abuse. So which one is the bigger L? I'm going with Connie. Connie took some fat L's, but Kay's mental abuse is huge. Like, she's second place. Apollonia is a quiet third because she didn't ask for none of that and she just blew up. Like, Apollonia was unsuspecting and just died. Crazy. All the women in this movie, besides, like, I guess Michael's mom, got kind of shafted. They all got screwed.
And she never even got to learn the days of the week right. She was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday. Like, girl didn't even know the days of the week.
Dude, stupid.
She had so much potential.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, that's awesome. All right, what would y'all rank this movie? 1 through 10. Let's get the aggregate score. I'll start with you, Ian. What you got?
I'm going 9.7.
Oh, he's going high.
It was higher than the last time when we didn't record it right.
Yeah, man. The only thing
he sat on it.
The only things that there were a couple things that I wish would have been fleshed out a little bit more in the movie. Like some of the background stuff with Carlo getting involved with the Tattaglia family and Sollozzo. Although again, maybe that would have taken away from some of the storytelling of the movie if they had stopped to actually, act out some of those scenes. But other than that, I mean, I think this was, as far as movies that I've seen, this was as close to perfect as you can get. Even the Are We Sures that we have are really not that big of a deal at the end of the day, as far as, whether I would recommend the movie to somebody else or how I came away from the movie feeling. So for that reason, and purely because it's a 3-hour movie that I would actually go back and watch again, and I'm excited to watch again at some point. I don't think you can do it much better than that. Not only that, it also had a ton of cultural influence, like I was saying earlier, with just things that have been taken from this and people paying homages to it and its influence in popular culture. Yeah. And, it was a look like kind of like The Sopranos, with a look into the everyday life of a gangster. This was really the first time that had ever happened in the silver screen to this level.
It really is one of the first, successful timeline films too. That takes you through like a lifetime. Mm-hmm. I can't really think of too many films before this that like really take you on that sort of journey. And now we get that in a lot of different stuff.
That's a fact.
The whole thing takes a decade, and you see the end of one era and the beginning of another era. And like I say, they do a really good job of starting everything off with a really succinct point and doing the same thing at the end.
Yeah, they do a great job.
I couldn't have asked for much more from this movie.
Of opening it with a theme and ending it with that same theme, but in a different way. I agree with that 100%. Schubert, what you rating it? 1 through 10?
9.5.
9.5? Ooh, this is gonna be the running back king. All right, I'm going 9.6. 9.6. I'm in between y'all. I stayed true to my rating of last time. Ian jumped up. I'm loving it. All right, so 9.6 plus 9.5, 9.7.
I'm pretty sure I jumped up. I think I did 9.4 last time.
Yeah, you did. All right, we're at an average of 9.6. This is the running back king. I don't know if anything's gonna beat this. This is pretty high. Like even Superbad, which I thought we were gonna rank super high, didn't beat this.
No, I think this is probably going to take the cake for a long time.
I think
Although
this is better than
pretty much every
Superbad.
other movie.
Yeah, good thing we ranked this better than Superbad. You're absolutely right. Oh, but look, it's gonna take one of us giving another movie a 9.7. That's what it's gonna take. Like, I don't know. Maybe
There's only one movie that I think that could happen for.
Oh, yeah?
maybe. I think it can happen. I think it can happen. Maybe. We'll see.
You want to share with the class?
No.
No.
We're gonna save it. We're gonna wait. But all right, ladies and gents, that's all we got this week. This has been the Run It Back. You know, we're gonna be back again soon. Probably gonna do either Wolf of Wall Street, Back to the Future. Schubert says Arrival's boring, so we're probably not gonna do that.
Arrival is good, but like if I have to go, yeah, it's just hard to watch. It's a hard rewatch. Like it's a good movie, but it's just like
Arrival's great.
it's a lot of lull.
There is some lull in there, but and Ian doesn't like Back to the Future, so this is gonna be an interesting choice. What gets chosen? Which I'm so shocked.
There's just so many plot holes.
It's the OG plot hole.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it if we ever do review it.
We shall. But all right, Ian, tell the people they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Twitter at IanBWT. You can find me on Instagram at IanHawley12. You can find me on YouTube at Old Daddy. That's OLE. And that's it.
Y'all make sure y'all go follow Ian. All right, Schubert, tell the people where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at aschubert14, Bros Who Binge. The most recent episode, we talked about Your Honor, the Tiger Woods documentary, and the beginning of WandaVision. But go back to our episode prior. I believe that number, let me get it for
118.
Let me get it for sure. I gotta pull it up here real quick. Yeah, 118. We do an interview with Andres Cabrera from the Meaning of Podcasts, First Cut, Geeks of Color writer, Star Wars movie trivia schmodown tournament champion. So that's a really fun interview, a really good one to go look back at, and we had a fun conversation. So I implore you to go back and check that episode out. If you don't check out any other Bros Who Binge episode, that's the one.
Go check out all that stuff. Also, February 4th, live on twitch.tv/Bros Who Think is the opening season of Pitch It. We got Dan Exclaims versus Hastic and Shamid Dua versus Jake Madison. We've heard from 3 competitors now. The Shamid Dua interview is out. Jake Madison will be out by the time you guys hear this. So we're right around the corner. We're about like a week and a half away from the Pitch It match, maybe 2 weeks. I'm excited. February 4th, 6 p.m. Central Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. West Coast. We'll be on the call. We'll be on the desk. We'll be calling the match. It's going to be exciting. I'm excited. I don't know who's going to win. Do y'all want to take bets? Are we going to wait to do bets? Because
I can't bet because it's like a conflict of interest.
You cannot bet. Yeah.
Because especially because like I think I'm judging too. I think Ian's judging, so I don't think he could bet either.
Yeah, only I can bet. All right. Well, I'll give my thoughts out before the match.
We can start taking bets. I'll gladly take your bets if I'm judging.
See, and they call me corrupt.
See, and they're already saying that it's corrupt, that I'm the champ. So yeah, we can't do any of that. We got to keep it clean. But because they were like, how can you own the network and be the champ? I was like, bro, so you telling me the owner of like ESPN can't own a football team? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not fucking judging. like I had to defend myself the other day. But that's besides the point. February 6th, February 4th, Thursday. Be there at 6 p.m. in the building. But that's all that we got this week. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube and follow us at Bros Who Think. But until the next time, we will talk to you soon. Peace.